And finally, companies that are, did a little research on this about companies that are clicking on competitor ads. And there's click farms that you can pay to do that specifically. Some people actually use it to generate money for themselves, but other people can be, other companies can actually pay certain click companies to actually click on ads to try to reduce their competition's budget in order to get, higher position on the different ads out there. It's a little sneaky. I don't know, there's ways of tracking that. There's stuff that we've seen, but it's not the majority of the fraud that we've seen on the traffic sources that we bring in. Okay, what are the search engines doing about it? Well, a lot of people are going to argue that the search engines are not doing enough about click fraud. Some are going to say that, search engines make money on every click, which they do. And that's the reason why they don't stop it. Some are also going to say that it's 100% responsibility on the search engine to eliminate click fraud. And that's where I'm going to disagree to some extent. I believe that, yes, click fraud is a serious problem. Search engines definitely need to take a serious look at it and do as much as they can to eliminate the click fraud before it gets to the advertiser. The other thing, too, is understanding the difference between click fraud and non-converting traffic. Not everybody understands that just because you get traffic to your site, it doesn't generate a conversion, doesn't necessarily make it a fraudulent click. So we're looking at non-converting sources of traffic. Now, if you have non-converting sources, you do want to make sure that you have a way of eliminating that from your campaign purchase. The other thing that I believe also is that search engines should take as much research and development to eliminate the click fraud activity happening on their network. Obviously, it makes their network more valuable. But I also equally believe that its customers should also spend time to make sure that they're doing what they can on their side to eliminate click fraud. I mean, there's a number of things I'll give you guys down the road. You can also employ some of the third-party companies out there to help you with that, because it is a very tricky situation, and it's something that you want to keep an eye on. Because let's face it, nobody cares more about your campaign than yourself. All right, so I want to look at some math on just a typical, simple campaign where somebody's buying from a fictitious company, fictitious search engine that has 0% fraud. If they were looking to generate a sale for $100 per conversion or $100 per sale, and they're spending $1 per click, with 100 clicks it would take them 100 clicks at $1 a click would get them that sale, so $100 a sale. The problem with click fraud is if you're buying from a network that's got 50% click fraud, to generate that same sale is going to cost you twice as much. So you're spending $200 to generate that same sale. But as a customer, if that's happening to you and you're buying on a network where there's fraud, or you feel there's fraud, or non-converting traffic that you're not able to eliminate, the first thing you're going to do as a knee-jerk reaction is to lower the cost per click. By doing that, you're dropping your cost per click in this example from $1 to 50 cents a click, and on that same 200 clicks, you're now back to your $100 per sale. And it doesn't make a difference what you're doing, to where you have to lower your number too, but as long as you're getting that $100 per sale, as a customer, typically that's what you're focusing on. To get to that cost per sale, that's what everybody's focused on. That's how you make your money. The problem with a search engine is a search engine is now having to serve up 4 times, or in the last example, have to serve up 4 times the number of clicks to generate that same $100. So what's happening is that click fraud is evaluating their cost per click and causing their cost per clicks to drop. So as a search engine, yeah, it's very, very important for search engines to step up to the plate and spend as much resources as you can to eliminate the click fraud and increase the cost per click on your network, make your network more valuable. Okay, just getting into some simple examples on ways to try to eliminate as much traffic, as much of the click fraud as possible. As I mentioned before, there's always there's publishers out there getting paid to generate traffic. But like I said before, search engines must do their part in eliminating click fraud. You must have the search engine that you choose to work with should have some means of eliminating click fraud. They should have some way of getting in there and assuring that they're getting as much of the click fraud out. It should not be something that they buy a one-time solution for or invest a one-time investment into to generate. It should be something that they're spending ongoing resources to constantly work on, because as click fraud technology gets better, click fraudsters get smarter. And they're going to it's always a cat and mouse game trying to get around anything you put out there. Make sure that the search engines that you work with are willing to work with you. So if they're finding traffic sources that come to you that are not converting for your particular campaign, that they're willing to remove those for you. It's the simplest way to eliminate stuff that's not working for you and increase your overall ROI. Again, the other area that I find too, as a search engine, we have customers that come to us that they expect us to do everything in the world to make their campaign work. And there are certain times where we're asking for data to help them get their campaign to where it needs to be, and they're not willing to share, so it makes it very difficult. So as an advertiser, The only thing I can suggest is make sure that you're willing to work with your search engines. They're there to make your campaign work, because if your campaign doesn't work, you're not going to stay with them as a customer. So if they can help you get your campaign to where it needs to be, then the two of you are going to continue with a nice, successful relationship. Again, monitor your sources of traffic that you get. Keep an eye on what's coming in. If you're not happy with what's coming in, make sure that you express that to the search engines that you're buying from. Again, if you're not able to do this on your own, there are quite a few companies out there that will do it for you and help you understand what's coming in, so that you know what to do, what information you need to give to your search engine to eliminate the stuff that you're not happy with. This is just something I've happened to see on a couple of our customer campaigns. When you're building your campaign, be careful of, if you use a broad matching system on a search engine like we have on our engine, be careful of single words that you're using. Because I've seen quite a few customers time and time again come in and drop the word internet or free and broad match that and get a tremendous amount of traffic on terms that really shouldn't be going to their page. You're just generating traffic that shouldn't be there. So be careful what you're using. If you use broad matching, make sure you use long-tail terms like 2- and 3-word phrases. Will tend to generate more targeted traffic for exactly what you're looking for, as opposed to having very generic single-word terms. Just something else I saw also, I've seen people time and time again also do the same thing, where you're selling a product in a given region and they're advertising it all over the place, and they're getting clicks from different areas that there's no way they can service. So it's important that when you build your campaign, make sure you're targeting the area that you cover. If it's nationwide, great. If it's worldwide, that's fine. If it's specific groups of cities, make sure that your campaign and your search engine can target those areas. One thing I've also seen is just bottom line, don't be cheap on your bids. If you're looking out there to buy traffic and you're trying to get the absolute lowest cost per conversion, and you're doing that, it's great, because you're going to eventually get to a point where you get the cheapest possible cost per conversion, but there's not going to be any volume at that level usually on most engines. So you're going to have to either spend your time going around finding additional engines that are going to have some traffic, and you're going to spend a lot of time trying to manage campaigns across multiple engines just to get the traffic at that volume. Sometimes if you spend a little bit more, you get a lot more volume, and you're still going to make your money on the conversions that you're looking for. So I see that as a hindrance at times. Take advantage also of any performance tracking tools that your search engines may provide. A lot of people are offering 1x1 pixels like we do at eZanga in order to track what sources of traffic are converting for you. It makes sense to spend more money where it works good for you and remove traffic sources that don't work for you. So a lot of times a search engine will offer different tracking tools that you can use in order to better your campaign. Again, the end goal for a search engine is to make sure your campaign works well, so you can stay on as a customer for a long time. And another thing another last piece there is just know who your account rep is. So when you have problems, you have questions, you know who to call. This way you can get somebody on the phone and get your situation handled as quickly as possible. And it makes sense to know who your account rep is. A lot of times you sign up for a company, you get assigned an account rep or you don't, and when you have a problem, it's a hard time getting in touch with somebody to handle your campaign. So just make sure you know who your rep is and stay in touch with them.